Hello, beautiful people. I hope that you are having a wonderful day. And before we get started, I want to acknowledge that today is Memorial Day. And so I do want to send out my heartfelt thanks to all those who have served and those who have died. And yeah, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So, the new iMac. Here's what we're going to cover because I've watched a lot of videos and I also got a new iMac and I'm hearing a lot of reviews and I'm hearing a few things that I want to share my thoughts and my feedback on because I have a unique perspective where I am somewhat techie, but not like super into some of these things that people are complaining about. I can't imagine why they're complaining about them. And first, I'd like to say good day to my buddy Ross Bundy. Thank you so much for joining. I'm glad you caught me live as well. And I'm assuming that it's getting late there where you are, so I'm glad you're up late. And oh, I need to. Uh, when you have a new computer, let's just say this before we even get started, right? With these myths, there is so much that you have to set up. And one of the things, because I'm using Ecamm Live, shout out to Ecamm. I love Ecamm Live. And one of the things that I've neglected to set up until just now was the automatically disappearing comments. So this way, when I put a comment up, it stays up for a while and then it automatically disappears. Thanks, Glenn and Ken. Esplenda. All right, I know I probably said that last name wrong. All right, so here's what I want to talk about. Um, I'll give you my feedback on these things. Barry Johnson, great to see you. Thank you. And yes, love Ecamm too. Great, Ross. Okay, I want to talk about the chin. I want to talk about Touch ID. I want to talk about the mic. I want to talk about the camera. And then I want to talk about ports and plugs. Okay? It may not go in that order, just so you know, because if you guys start asking questions, I can easily make sure that I check off one of the boxes on my checklist. And okay, so let's go to the first item that I have here, which is ports and plugs. I'm sorry, which is the chin. I said the wrong thing. The chin. I have seen so many tech YouTubers complaining about the chin on this. And so you'll know what I mean when I say the chin. First, yeah, like I said, it's a new Mac, so bear with me. Guys, I gotta set things up so that I can display them properly. And I took this picture on my iPhone of my setup right before I went live, and then I realized the lighting was bad, but you can see what I mean about the chin. So let me drag that on. Okay, there you are. There's my iMac. Actually, you're not seeing the whole thing. Oh, I made it too small. There you go. Sorry about the lighting. My room is not yellow, as you can see. I had some kind of filter on. But anyway, the chin, which is this part right below the monitor screen. I'll make it bigger. Right below the monitor screen. Okay, first of all, around the monitor screen is what they call the bevel. Okay, so it's white. I have the gray version of the iMac. All right. And then this little area down here is what they call the chin. for the life of me, I can't understand why so many people are bothered about the chin. I don't know. Even though I'm not a designer, I do like nice design. I like things that look gorgeous, like just like the next gal or guy. All right. However, I don't see this as being ugly. I'll give you an idea. I'll just use my fingers. The chin is this thick. And from what I understand from the schematics that they showed on the Apple places, so the chin is the stand. No, it's not the stand. It is, you've got the monitor, like the part that you can see, right? Then around that monitor is a bevel. And the bevel is about this thick. Then at the bottom of the bevel, only at the bottom, is what they call the chin. I do have another picture here. Let's see. Let's see. I did have an issue with that picture, but these other pictures that I took, I cut off the top. So let's see. Let's just go with it anyway. Let me get off cam. All right, and let me go into my photo. Oh, I should have set this up first. Just in case there's a photo in there that I don't need anybody else to see. Hang on, Snoopy. You just sometimes you take some weird, and even the screenshots I take can be awfully weird. So here's a better example. All right, so now let's put that in there. Okay, so this one, oops. You can see it bigger when I'm on here too. So right beneath the monitor is what's called the chin, above the stand. So it's between the space that's what I mean about the chin. I can't even describe it. Oh, the bit I stick my sticky notes. Yes. Yep. In fact, I'm going to put your comment right over it. Yes. Where people stick their sticky notes. I have seen some folks refer to that as, what it is. You put your sticky notes there, and in past models, I guess there was an Apple logo there. What you see there, I have the Apple logo, but that's just a sticker that I didn't have any place else to put it. So I just put it on top of the stand. All right. So to me, that's the number one myth. It's the number one myth. There ain't nothing wrong with the chin. Okay? Stop being so picky. I know y'all spoiled. All right. But it does not impact you using it. When you're looking at the Mac, you're looking at the monitor, right? I mean, it's not really a piece of furniture or a painting that you hang on the wall. So why is there such a big... I don't even know why there's an issue about the bevel or the chin, because that was another thing. The bevel was also complained about because the bevel is white. And they think, I say they, and so I'm going to be specific, and nothing against anybody, but most of the folks that were talking about this that I saw were men. They also want that bevel, instead of it being white, they want it to be black. And so this is why I'm here, because I want to bring a different perspective into the mix of this conversation, about, because the stuff that I have to complain about, they don't even care about. So, yeah. So now there. Okay, so the next really cool thing about this Mac is, and I'm holding up the keyboard that comes with the Mac, and right here, oh, everything is on the opposite side, is TouchID. Now, this does not come with all versions of the Mac. Of course, I got the one that has all the stuff. Okay. This is the 24-inch iMac. 2021 24-inch iMac. The one that came out or was announced in April. Yes, I ordered it and I got it on Friday, this past Friday. So, like the 28th of May. Okay? So, it has a Touch ID. But here's why this is part of this is a myth. And thank you for saying it right. Here's why part of this is a myth. Okay? Because uh the Touch ID, maybe I don't have it set up right. Oh, the comment was supposed to disappear on its own. Oh, it did. Maybe I don't have it set up right, but I have not been able to get it to actually work when I first turned the Mac on. So I'm going to put that on my notes because they did tell me I can check in with a tech who could walk me through. It does work, but like when I first boot up my computer, okay, and when I first turn it on, okay, all right. This is a good thing about having notes here. I can just add that. This way, when I get on the phone with the tech, we don't spend all the time me saying, there was something else I wanted to ask you. I have my notes here. Sounds interesting, the Touch ID. Yeah, it's cool because there's so many times you have to log into things, and when you're installing apps, of course, with this being a new Mac, I have to install everything. And all the apps that I typically use, right? I had to install. I used the Canva desktop app, so I had to install that. I just use so much stuff. I can't even tell y'all all the stuff I use. Oh, well, yeah, that's going to segue into the next topic. But as you're installing all these different apps, you have to approve them. Even what are the some of the other things that you have to approve? It's just so many times that you have to enter your password. It's unbelievable. Or even if you're checking passwords. Okay, so if you use Chrome, which is where I use, and then you got to check your passwords and things like that, and you're logging into something, and it's like, oh, well, you're not sure. I can just use that, and that has been pretty cool. It's not as cool as I want it to be yet, but it's pretty cool. So it's a semi myth. However, I'm going to hold it back up again. I don't like these. This is like what I call a mini keyboard. It's nice and it's compact, but I'm going to show you the keyboard that I like. And I do like that it's wireless. That's cool. It needs to be because as we get further along, you'll find out why it needs to be. I like this kind of keyboard. I like to have my number pads. Okay, I come from an accounting type background, all right? And so I will trade my Touch ID for my number pad. But I do like the fact that it's a smaller profile. Okay, so it's kind of a love-hate relationship with that so far. All right, so and Roz is with me. She prefers a keyboard with a numeric pad included. But here's the kicker. Here's the kicker. Not only does this keyboard have the numeric, and this is something that I've been taking for granted until trying to use this little mini keyboard. We also have these keys right here. And one of those keys is one that I use all the time, and that is the delete key, because there's two delete keys, one that deletes things in front and one that deletes things in back. I use them both all the time. So it really gets on my nerves when I'm using the one and it's not the one that I'm supposed to be using. So the one that I need is, I need to know, this is going to be my question for the tech. How do I delete what's in front of the cursor? Because maybe there's a setting. Maybe there's some stuff I don't know that I could use. But clearly, if you look at my setup, and I'll put up that faded little picture again, okay? Because my setup is, I'm using this little stand-up kind of desk. All right, did I get on the screen? Oh yeah, but not the whole thing. All right. So you see this stand up, it's like one of those where you grab the springs on the side and lift it up. So I really only have room here for this littler one if I'm going to have my microphone next to me. And I like to have the microphone closer to me. I mean, I can have it further away, but I like it. I feel better with it closer. Okay, so it comes in handy. You know, it's a good thing the girl has options. Okay, and Barry says, agreed. I'd rather have number pad as well. Yes. You know, it's just, I do like that it has the smaller profile. So it's like like I said, it's like a love-hate relationship there. And if anybody who's watching this, even if you watch this in the replay, and if you know how to delete what's in front of the cursor with this little bad boy, let me know. Because right now it deletes what's behind the cursor, and that's not always a good thing. Or maybe I got it backwards at this point. I'm confused. I don't even know. And hey, Sammy Superstar, how are you? Great to see you. Wonderful, wonderful. Okay, so those were the two things. We talked about the chin so far, and we talked about the Touch ID and the different size keyboards. And Sammy, you're getting ahead. You know, Sammy, whenever you come, it's like you have this sense of what's going on. And you said you got an iMac, not a Mac Mini. I didn't say that because I got both. I got both. And we're going to talk about that as we keep going along. So thank you for asking that question. And Barry saying hi. All right. So now, hello, party people. I found you. Hey, Ted. How are you? Okay. So next, the mic. The mic. All right, I'm going to let you judge for yourself. Okay, let's do a comparison. First of all, testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3. That's the Shure MV7. Now, check this out. Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3. This is recorded with the built-in microphone on my new iMac. How's it sound? You want to hear that one more time? You want to hear that one more time? I want your feedback. I want your feedback. Is that uh built-in microphone? Is that thing usable? Like for a live stream? I mean, you could clearly, you could hear. You could definitely hear. But does it sound like, okay, that sounds like she's talking on her desktop microphone or built-in microphone, you know. Sounds decent, but it's no Shure MV7. Hey, Barry, I think I agree. You know, but I'm calling that a myth because I do think that Apple is trying to convince us that that mic is good. Now, it's fine for your work Zoom meetings and for your Google Meet, or in my case, it's Teams. We use Teams at work. You know, it's cool when you want to meet with your friends and things like that. I mean, but for real, no way. Now, if you don't have a mic, all right, You put all your money into this Mac and you can't even afford a mic. First of all, don't do that. Don't. Just go out on eBay and get an old one or wherever you get them. I'm not supporting eBay. I'm just saying. Join the LGL group. That's a Let's Get Live group on Facebook. And as a matter of fact, Barry, you need to join that group anyway. And hang with some of those streamers there. I'm sure somebody at some point in time will be selling a mic. It sounds okay, but not an MV7. It's better than a Logitech webcam, the audio. Yeah, it's better than if I. Ah, Sammy, you are always a step ahead of me. You're always a step ahead of me. You're always a step ahead of me. This what do you eat for breakfast? Do you eat Frosted Flakes or Cheerios? Because you're always getting to my topic before I bring it up. Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you for the segue. The segue. Before I do the segue, I'm just going to do it one more time. Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3. This is recorded with the built-in microphone on my new iMac. How's it sound? Okay, that was just for fun. All right, so now let's move on to my next myth. We're doing some myth busting here. And Sammy mentioned it because he said the Logitech webcam. And those of you who have been following me know that I have just about every Logitech webcam you can imagine. Well, all the good ones. I have the 920, the 922. I even have a C930, but I gave it to my daughter. I have no idea if she ever actually uses it. And I feel like I had another one before I got the Brio. And then I have the Brio. So these four I know, like I could put my hands on them. They're within arm's reach. But guess what? Baby. If I ever even dreamed about buying one of those Sony A60 whatever. No. Because this little camera right here is the bomb diggy. I love it. I love it. This built-in cam, and like I said, this is another myth because I'm one of those folks, and I know I'm in the minority. I'm one of those folks that does not think that it's a whole huge big deal to have a blurry background. I don't. It, what? Why is that important? I don't get it. I never did. It took me a while to even understand what it meant. The bokeh and all that. And God bless all of those who love it and use it and work it well. And I'm not going to say that, I don't notice it, because I notice it. And I'm not going to say I think it looks good or bad. I'll just say it looks blurry. I'll just say it looks blurry. So for me, I like clarity. Like, for example, I can read that says hello. Hello. Because that's the cover that I took off the iMac, and I liked it so much that I double stick taped that bad boy up on the wall. I can literally read that says hello. If I had the bokeh, you wouldn't be able to read that, and you'd be trying to figure out what the heck is that she's got posted up there on the wall. I don't know. But so for me, this camera is a step up from the Logitech Brio, and I did do some comparisons and things. And right now I am streaming in really high quality from my Ecamm Live, which is 1440p. I could have went for 4K, but I just didn't. I don't know why. I just didn't. I just wanted to go above 1080, which is what I would be doing if I was on the Brio. Okay, so that's let's do a quick recap because we're getting to the last thing now. All right, so the chin, nothing wrong with the chin. The chin is fine, y'all. The Touch ID, love hate relationship with this little mini keyboard. The mic, not as good as Apple tried to make it sound. The camera, perfectly fine. And the fact that I don't have to worry about the camera. But here's the thing. Here's the thing. And let's get Sammy Superstar's feedback first. The iMac M1 webcam kind of looks like an iPhone camera. Yes and no. Yeah, let's do a little comparison. Let's do a little comparison. Oh, I just got to make sure you're not seeing any of my messiness back here. Oh, that's right. When you do that, you can only do it in portrait. Sorry. I'm just using the camera app on my phone, okay? I'm going to put it on screen. And it only lets you do it in portrait. It doesn't let you do it in landscape. So this is the webcam. The built-in camera is on my left. Yeah, it's on your left too. And well, you can see this is my iPhone because I'm moving it around. All right, I'm gonna stop that because it's making me dizzy. My face looks a little shinier. No, I'm not really pleased with that with the phone. Let's see if I move it up to around the same point, so that the cameras are about even. Yeah, I still like the built-in webcam better. That's just me. Now, I can't hold it here and then turn it off at the same time, y'all. So sorry. It's gonna get a little shaky cam again. All right, there you go. But good point. Good point, Sammy. Thanks for bringing that up. That was definitely worth mentioning, and it was nice to do a little comparison because I hadn't even thought about doing that comparison. And there's other apps in there in my phone that I can, but that's not the point because, like with this FaceTime camera, there's really no settings or apps or any of. You just turn it on. I mean, well, you don't even turn it on. It's on. You can't adjust white balance. You can't. And Barry agrees. Barry, you're my favorite today. Thank you. Ah, it's an iPhone style look. Yes, it is. I just maybe because of my lighting, but I bet if I really wanted to like make them look exactly the same with my little changes in my lighting, I probably could make them look exactly the same. But yeah, and that's great because I love the iPhone look. Especially when you got a little Instagram filter on that bad boy. That's the bomb. So yeah. Let's make sure, because I mentioned you guys' comments. I just want to make sure I put them all up on screen. Okay, so the last thing, and here's my segue from the last item, which was the camera. If I wanted to use the Logitech Brio or any of my other Logitech cameras on this computer, guess what? I wouldn't even be able to. Nope. Now, I'm not talking about adding accessories and peripherals and docks and hubs. I'm not talking about that. I'm just talking about the computer. Okay? Because guess what? Unless y'all want to go out and buy me a coffee, but y'all don't even have my buy me a coffee widget set up right now. Unless y'all buy me a whole lot of coffee. A sister ain't got no money after buying the M1 and the iMac. We on E. But now that I think about it, I better put my buy me a coffee link up here so you guys will know. Help a sister out. Oh, there she go. Ileane.link/coffee. One more time, in case you're not looking up at the screen, it's ILEANE.link/coffee. Buy me a coffee. Yeah, 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 yeah. All right. So, yeah, this is definitely, um, just a comparison of what can be done with this computer, not all the peripherals. Okay. So, if I wanted to use my one of my Logitech cameras, I would not be able to because there is no USB A or USB. Well, I'll show you. Because getting a education in these ports is it's a whole thing, y'all. Which way do I want to hold it? I want to hold it over here. Okay, I got so many of these charging cords for my iPhones. And yes, I have multiple iPhones, but they're older. The 8, the 11 is the one that you guys been looking at, but I also have the 8 Plus and the 6. I don't even use that 6 anymore for things that I thought I was going to use it for. So anyway, this USB plug, which is at the end of all of my Logitech webcams, don't have a place to go on this computer. Now, on my M1 Mac Mini, there are 2 USB ports. So, yeah, that's a mini, though. But this, to me, a mini, I mean, the words mini, that means this is like a little smaller thing, small time. But it has the ports that most people will need. Now, for somebody who doesn't sit and watch YouTube all the time, you won't know that. And I guess that's why most of these YouTube videos are so popular, because people they won't know what to buy, especially now that the stores are, you got to order it online. The stores are starting to open back up, but you still need to order it online. Sammy's laughing at me. Why did you get a mini and an iMac? Because when I bought the mini, I didn't know that the iMac was coming that soon. I can't see the future. But I know one thing. I said to myself, "Oh, I'm not waiting for the MacBook, but for the iMac Pro. I can't wait. I can't be waiting. I can't let Apple put my life on hold because they want to release things at different times." Okay. So when I bought the mini, if I knew that the iMac was coming right out, I wouldn't have got the mini. I would have got 2 iMacs. I probably would have. I probably would have got 2 iMacs. But oh well, I got the mini now, so I don't need a second iMac. So actually, that's Apple's loss. Okay, because I did get a couple people buy me some coffee, So looking forward to what you share about both. Okay, we're going to get into it, but we got one more thing we're covering now is the ports. So I was segued from the cameras to talk about the ports and the plugs. So you cannot use the USB A, which is the original one, and even Android users use USB. This is like the most commonly used thing. When people think of USB, they think of this. If you're not techie, if you're not someone who like tries to stay up on this kind of stuff, or if you haven't bought any new gear lately, this is the only USB you know. Like there's another USB? Yeah, actually, there's a couple of them. So, what comes on the Mac that I bought? I bought the one that has 4 ports. 2 of them are USB C. You know what? I'm not going to try to pretend like I know all the USB terminology. All right. Let's just get that clear right now. I'll show you what I can use with it. It's the way I have this phone plugged in right now, and they do give you a very nice plug. Andrew Hatches says sounds hot and a bit boomy. Oh, thank you, Andrew, for letting me know that. I appreciate your comment. I will back it up a little bit on the Sure. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so this, I don't know if this camera's going to do it justice to show that this is not the regular smooth. This is kind of like a braided, like a cloth braided cover. Yeah, this is a time when I do need that other camera. The one I'm not going to buy. All right, so compare that to this. This is the other port that they have on this computer, which is the lightning port. Now this looks so much like the other USB one that I showed you. I'm sorry, this is called Thunderbolt. It's not lightning. This is lightning. This is what you plug into your iPhones. You know, on one end you have lightning, on the other end you have the old school USB. But now you have a different kind of you have what looks like this, only smaller. So this is lightning, and you know it's Thunderbolt. This is Thunderbolt. I'll say it one more time. This is Thunderbolt, and you know because it has the picture of the Thunderbolt on it. This is the most powerful plug and kind of port that's out right at the moment. On Macs anyway. Maybe there's something on some other kind of computers. Okay, so you have to pay for this extra. This doesn't come with it. The one I showed you, this is also thinner. See the thickness? You can tell that it's a different texture too, just by the color of it. But this thinner one, this is what you're going to charge your wireless mouse and your wireless keyboard that come with the computer. This you have to buy separately, and this is for your peripherals, which right at this moment I don't have. I don't have ones that work with Thunderbolt. Luckily for me, the MV7, the Shure MV7, came with the Thunderbolt, or the USB-C. I'm sorry. It came with the USB-C. So I was in luck. But my other mics, like my ATR 2100, will not be able to use that one on this computer. I'm not 100% sure about my Samsung Q2U, because I do have a plug laying around somewhere that I'm not sure what it goes to. Okay, woo. And all right, so see the compact little hole. All right, so all right, let me unplug it. Let me unplug it. Okay, because I had the phone plugged into that. All right, so this is what it looks like, Roz. Try to make it so you can see it from all angles. That's the USB-C versus the Thunderbolt, which is the bigger one and the more powerful one, they look the same. They are so close. If this didn't have the Thunderbolt, and it's a thicker cable too, it's also thicker. So right away, you kind of like when you just imagine, a grandma like myself who's maybe a little less techie than I am. Right away, when you grab this, it's thicker, but that could easily go past you because you're just really looking to see what does this plug look like, right? So this is to me this is problematic. This is problematic, and I'm sure there's tons of videos out here to describe exactly what USB needs to go where and all that. But then here these new iMacs come out, and then everything has changed. Blimey, great way to confuse an oldie. Yeah, because in my head, I don't have all of the details straight, so I'm doing my best to try to describe this to you guys. But I know that sometimes I may, and I apologize if I've mixed the terminology at times because, um, yeah, it's confusing. But I just want to let you know that if you are going to get one of these iMacs, this is the bottom line, and you have an external microphone or an external camera that you want to use, you need to make sure that you buy the extra accessories to go so that you can plug it in. That's the bottom line. So what most of my friends who even have the Mac Mini or this iMac, what they do is they go out and they buy something called a hub or they buy a dock. Now, oh, that just sounds so inexpensive and so, so no, those things cost close to 200, some are more than $200. Depends on what you are blurring, a big plant or a pile of laundry. Yes, pile of laundry, green screen. Thank you, Andrew. Not you, Miss Ileane. You're explaining it great. Apple is confusing us. Oh, thank you, Roz. I'm doing the best I can. I just, start off with the fact that this is lightning. And see, this doesn't have a hole. This doesn't have a hole. This is lightning. This is what goes on the bottom of your iPhones. And I'm sure it also does on your iPads. Okay, that's what goes into the phone, the device. But this is what's on the other end. Okay, this does have a hole, but it's a smaller profile versus the lightning. Whoops, that has a bigger profile. And that just reminds me of something else I need to write down when I talk to the Apple people. How do I turn down the noisy mouse? Oh my goodness, I got to write that down right now. Turn down. Oh, it's clickety, clickety, clickety. Ooh, I really don't like these Magic Mice. I have always used a Logitech mouse. Okay, but here's the problem. I have to use this wireless mouse with this computer until I buy one of those hubs or docks or whatever. Because I can't plug my Logitech mice in because they have USB on them. The regular USB, old school USB, this kind, the kind that I don't have in the back of my Mac. So I have to use my wireless keyboard. And now, let's talk about the Mac Mini. Let's talk about the Mac Mini really, really quickly. Because, the Mini is cheaper and not as powerful. So they say, of course, I haven't put this to the limit. I haven't pushed it to the limit or of how far it could go as far as. But you got more ports. You have two regular old school USB ports. So I still have the Logitech Brio over there on the Mac Mini. But the thing is, you don't have a monitor. So you got to buy a monitor. All right. Luckily, I had one that I'm already using. So that's another story. But yeah, guys, I gotta say, I'm still pleased. I'm happy. And for me, my own personal reason for being so happy about having this computer is because I know that my old iMac, which was from 2014, is about to bite the dust. And I have so much data on there, so many files, so many Photoshop files and graphics and uh, yeah, all kinds of stuff, PDFs that I don't want to lose. And I know that happened to me before. That actually, that particular computer has already been rebuilt. The first time it crashed, I lost all that stuff. If it wasn't on Dropbox or Google Drive, if it wasn't backed up on in those places, I lost. I lost a lot of images and things like that that just frazzle you. It's not the end of the world, you know. It's not mission critical, but it's annoying AF. So I at least now this gives me an opportunity. I can get as much of that stuff off that is mission critical, you know, like documents, old income tax return, anything, whatever. It's on that Mac. I lost everything from a PC once too. Yeah, yeah. For me, yeah, that didn't happen with my. Actually, some of my old laptop, PC laptops, they actually still run. They just run on some old, super old software. So you can't. I can't even connect it to the internet so that I can upload stuff to the cloud because it's like old, super old versions of Windows, and I can't, you know. So, but I could take a USB, you know, thumb drive and download files that way. In fact, I did. I downloaded, and I'll tell you, there was a one document. This is super behind the scenes personal stuff. When my father passed away, I wrote something. It was some family stuff that was going on, and something told me document this day. Document this day. And rest in peace, by the way, Percy Smith Jr. And I'm so glad I documented that day. But it was on that old computer and I couldn't find it. I couldn't figure out where it was. But one day no, I'm not even thinking about that document. I said, let me just see if this old laptop still works or still turns on. And it turned on. And I said, oh, I wonder if that document is on here. And sure enough, it was on there. And it was like the only thing on that old PC that I wanted was that document that, you know, no matter what, I'll always have it. I didn't have backups. Yeah, we need to talk about backups. I started using Backblaze, and so I haven't had to put it to the test yet to restore, but I thought it was affordable. My friend Doc Rock is the one who told me about it. And because, see, here's the other thing. If I want to transfer everything from that old iMac, well, it's close to 4 terabytes of. I told you I got a lot of files, right? And the Mac, the new iMac, as well as the Mac Mini, I'm pointing over that way because that's where it is. Neither one of them have that much storage. So that means something else I gotta go buy. I gotta go buy an external hard drive and have it plugged in for days and days and days while it downloads all that stuff. Ain't nobody got time for that. I the few pennies that I do get that come in now, I need to try to get a hub so that I can, because right now I'm not able to use my Stream Deck. Now I can use the Stream Deck over on the Mac Mini, but the Mac Mini don't have this camera. So see, this is how, first of all, they try to put you in the poorhouse. I'm not happy about that, Mr. Cook, Tim Cook. I'm not happy about you trying to put me in the poorhouse, okay? Okay, but then some of the accessories, Apple doesn't even sell them, or doesn't even make them. I shouldn't say they don't sell them. They do sell them. They don't make them. In fact, I'll show you. This is one that I'm thinking about getting. And it's called Has9. How are you? Thank you so much for coming over. Okay, let's see if I go into Mac, and then I'm setting things up in the background, guys, so I can show you one of the items that I'm thinking about. I'm still doing my research. Good thing is it's not mission critical right now, so hang on. Let me get everything set up so that I can attempt to share the right screen. Yay, I did it. All right. And so here there's got power cables and mice and keyboards and Mac Essentials. Hang on. I think I was supposed to go into the section about shop power and cables. Adapters. Oh. All right, so they've got all these cables, and somewhere on here they probably describe what I was trying to describe to you guys earlier. There's a bunch of them. Well, okay, so here we go. We start getting into these devices that we can plug in so that we can have these extra ports. Well, wait a minute. Yeah, you guys can see it. Let's make it a little bit bigger, though. Belkin. That's not Apple. Like, are you guys going to buy Belkin? Mophie. What? What's up with that? Black Magic, Mophie. Here's the thing that people have advised me to get, and that I'll probably get, but I might not get it from Apple because I could get it from Amazon. It's called the Cal Digit, and it's a dock that has probably have a better description written up over on the Amazon side. But 2 Thunderbolt 3 or USB-C ports, 5 USB-A. Okay, USB-A. There you go. And when they talk about daisy chaining Thunderbolt devices, see where it says allowing daisy chaining Thunderbolt devices. Now, I highlighted that, but I bet I need to make that bigger, especially if somebody's watching this on mobile. Sorry, apologize for that. This is where I can have my Mac, my iMac, and my Mac Mini work together with what they call daisy chaining. So I hope this is helpful to someone who is considering making a purchase here. This is, like been an education for me. I hope that I can look back on this 6 months from now and say, you ain't know what you were talking about, because I don't. I'm just repeating some stuff I heard somebody else say, but what I do know, I know what I have access to right now with this iMac, which is what I wanted to tell you. So real quick, let's do the recap. We talked about the chin, okay? I have no problems with the chin. I wouldn't even know it was called a chin. It doesn't bother me. Don't know why it bothers some mega folks out there. TouchID is nice, but I want it to work to open up my computer. And I'm going to talk to the Apple folks to figure that out and set up my appointment for later on today, hopefully. The mic, we all know, not good, only good for uh, meetings on Zoom with your family and when it doesn't really matter, or Teams, Microsoft Teams. The camera, love it. Love it, love it, love it. And as Sammy says, it's like the iPhone. Hey, Patricia Murray. Hey, hey, hey. Welcome to the Durham Skyraider, also known as Patricia A. Murray. Hi. Okay, we talked about the ports and the plugs. We spent a lot of time talking about the different ports and plugs, and I showed you guys some of the stuff they have over on the Apple website. And yeah, and I talked about not only the iMac, but also the Mac Mini. And the Mac Mini, biggest challenge with the Mac Mini is that you need a monitor. So who wants to use a little corny monitor when you got a Mac Mini? You want a nice monitor, right? And those, oh my gosh, I forgot. Didn't even mention HDMI plugs. That's a fatter plug that you would plug your Mac Mini into your monitor. It's fatter than all the ones that I showed you. And HDMI is also a plug that you have on your TVs. If people use TVs as monitors or use TVs for different things, I plug my Chromecast into the HDMI port on the back of my TVs. I just got a new M1 MacBook Pro. Love it. Oh, I'm happy. I'm so happy for you, Patricia. Yay. Yay. Tell me, what is your biggest challenge? What, or any challenges that you faced with that? Because I know you had an old I believe it was a MacBook as well. And that thing was very reliable. And you did lots and lots of streaming on that bad boy. So how's the camera on the MacBook Pro? You probably had to ditch your, I believe you were using a Logitech camera as well. You probably had to ditch that, right? For the built-in camera. And I'm not sure if it's the same as the built-in camera on the Mac. And I also want to mention, for anybody who's watching this and is like, I just can't afford all of that, or look into the iPads. These new iPads that they have out, actually, they're kind of expensive too. But the new iPads that they have out are phenomenal. Now, I don't have one of those, so I can't give you firsthand knowledge. But just from everything that I've read and seen, those iPads really, really, are worth the investment. And you can buy the keyboard to go with it as well. And the pencil, if you're an artist or someone who is, gifted that way, then you might want to look into the iPad, the M1. And something that we didn't talk about, so let's just talk about that really quickly. All these years of Macs, not going way back to the beginning, but let's just say the last 8 or 9 years. I don't know the exact time. Mac has been using the chip from Intel. But I guess they got tired of Intel holding them hostage. They wanted to, be their own boss. So they built their own chip, which is called the M1. And that chip is just what does the processing of all the data on your computer. And the camera is great. And yes, I ditched my Logitech, even though so-called experts say there's no improvement. Thank you. That's why this video is about the myths. The so-called experts are saying, I think this camera is way better than the Logitech Brio. And besides that, it's worry-free. I don't have to open up a settings program and do set up a bunch of stuff. Now, for us who use Ecamm Live does have some settings in there, so I can use those if I want, like zoom and pan. For example, if I just don't want you guys worrying about all this other stuff that you could see here, like my other desk, which is where the Mac Mini is. You can see that but I can zoom in because of Ecamm. Now I wouldn't be able to zoom in if I was just using the FaceTime camera, but because I have Ecamm Live. Yay! Thank you, Ecamm Live. I love you. And then I also can control the brightness and all that here. And if I wanted to, I could go black and white on y'all. Yeah, y'all wasn't expecting that. Y'all ain't know that I was going to pull that out, that rabbit out of the hat. No, I look weird. I think black and white is cool for a specific effect, but I haven't figured out what exactly I want to use that for. But that's part of Ecamm. I wouldn't be able to do that without Ecamm. And I'm sure there's some other apps out there you could install. And Roz likes it. Okay, Roz, well, as we sign off, we'll leave the black and white on just for you because you're so special. And Patricia's laughing at me. Yeah, I'm starting to get used to it too. But thank you so much, guys, for joining me today as we talked about these myths, the chin, the touch ID, the mic, the cam, the ports and the plugs, and also how to work it in combination with any other Macs, like the Mac Mini. And we're all going to be awaiting the iMac Pro, which will probably be another 27-inch, or maybe it'll be even bigger. Who knows? But I'm finding this 24-inch is just fine for me. And I wish you all to have a splendid day. And once again, before signing off, I want to acknowledge Memorial's Day in the United States here. It's a day that we acknowledge those that have died in service. But, most of us also extend that into folks that are even in service or have ever served, because we owe a debt to you all. And so thank you. If you're one of those people that has served, thank you for your service. And if you've lost a loved one, my condolences, my heart goes out to you. And we need more than one day to remember. All right. So with that, guys, I am not going to sign off with black and white. I'm coming back on in full color. And with that, guys, as always, when I sign off, I say, stay beautiful.